know. Some of you like Peter Pan, I don't see you ever grow. Oil on me head to toe, cause
Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Let's chat.
never get my set alone. My brother's been forgiven too. He ain't pay my debt alone. I ain't gotta worry about him leaving. Love is set in stone. Stomping on the devil's throne. Jesus brought this rebel home. I took a break, felt like the eyes left me alone again. What you think I wasn't gonna get back up in my zone again? You gon' get these raps for some years. I barely honed it in. Overcomer, breakthrough lyrics, boy, I flow to win. Hey, who you messing with? A Cali Hurricane. Hit up Sonny, hit up Steven, that's my brethren.
Alexa, stop. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to my channel. I'm Karen Denton. I'm the CEO of KSC Commercial Cleaning Services. I want to make this a bidding channel, like questions about bidding. Actually got a question in the chat, asked me, have I ever lost money on a bid? Absolutely. And every level you do, because when you get bigger accounts or you as you grow, you have different experiences with different accounts. For example, during COVID, I underbidded by $20,000 on a construction project. Yeah, so I have many experiences where I underbidded. I didn't have a system. I didn't have no app. I didn't have no software or anything. And a lot of times you go out your head, and you go out your head thinking about just yourself cleaning. And that's what I'm trying to help y'all not to do, because you learn some really hard lessons in doing that. I heard some questions today about how you should follow up on a bid. They talked about banks. Banks is, I had an opportunity where I could have got 13 Citizen banks. After I did the walkthrough on, like, they had different sizes, different square footage. So I think it was 3 different types. So I went to a walkthrough on 3 different types, and after I priced it, it wasn't even worth it, especially when you gotta go all over the city, and even some were out of our normal area. So it really wasn't worth it. Even the bundle itself wasn't worth it. And a lot of times, like when I first started, I had accounts all over the city, because I started as a franchise, and whatever opportunity they offered me, I took it. And I was all over the city. And it was, some was worth it, some was not. What else did I want to talk about? That's why I want you guys to give me some questions so I can just voluntarily help you, because there's so many things involved with that I really can't just talk off the top of my head. I need some questions. Let me think of some other valuable things pertaining to bids that I actually heard today. I heard, okay, now every opportunity, that's why I say when you get an opportunity or a lead, you need to find out from that client if it's something that you do, because it might not be something that you do. And then say, for example, you go to the walkthrough and you find that that's just not your client. Okay, well, you did the walkthrough. All money ain't good money. Don't follow up on an account you really don't want. And if you see, like, I heard the client told them all this anal stuff. Now, when I go to a walkthrough and people give me all that anal stuff, they want you to wash this and wipe that and out of the normal stuff, I put it in the proposal and I put it in there word for word what they said. But when they see the price, no, they don't want all that. But see, it don't be the company that wants all that. That be that contact person who got these different pet peeves and nitpicky and stuff. So you gotta be mindful that sometimes that is just not the right client when they're setting you up for failure before you even get the account. And those type of clients, you don't because they don't really know what they want, and what they want, they're not gonna pay for, not what that person said. So be mindful. Just take it as a learning tool, far as going to see the building, talking to that client that taught you that's not the client that I want. Take it as a learning tool, not that oh, I didn't get this opportunity. No, you didn't even really want it. So if you don't want it, just take what you learned from it and keep in front of mind why you don't really want it. So you know that that's the client. Excuse me. So you know that that's the client that you don't want. Let me see what else got here today. Um, yeah. When you're using an app or something to do your measurements and put your information in for a bid, always look at that whole number. Like I heard today, I don't know the size of the building. I don't know the price or whatever. I mean, I know the price. I don't know the size of the building, but I know for two people going one time a week for $398, that don't add up. So don't be scared of the top number, because the top number is not as big as you think. So for example, that top number, divide that 398 into 4 times a month, two people. I ain't even got to do the math. That don't make sense. That's bidding backwards, because you would never be able to give that account to somebody else. And then if it takes you an hour to get there, is it really worth it? And then sometimes too, let me say this. It was a new account. Sometimes, like all the time, or should I say most times, especially if it's not new, I request a deep clean first. I tell the client I need to do a deep clean first, and I need to get it to my standard before we start. And they, most times, 9 out of 10, and they know they need it, they agree with that. So also I tell them too, like say I really don't know how to bid that because it's so dirty, and I really can't judge it, but I know once we do a deep clean, it'll be maintainable. So what I tell the client then is I tell them, after I do the deep clean, I'll be able to give you a fair quote for regular service. That's all. I mean, because what you gonna do? You can't really determine how long it's gonna take or how many people you need yet. So do the deep clean first, and then tell the client you'll come back with a quote once you get it to your standard. Then you can give them a fair price, because at that uh, presentation, you can't. It looks like a whole lot, but once you deep clean it and get it to your standard, it'll be easy. So that's an option too when you're not really sure about the scope of work, how long it would take, or how many people you have. Just think about doing that. And then, like I said, most times the buildings need a deep clean first. So treat that deep clean like a project. Give them a price for the deep clean, and then then quote them for a regular service. Now, I'm saying this, but I have a tool that I can teach you how to use so that you can start making some money. My company has made over $1 million in the time that I've been in business. So I must be doing something. And I can only teach you what I've used and what I've learned. And hey, we could grow together as I learn, because I'm going to different levels, and every different level is something different. And like I said, yes, I've underbid it too, but now that we are deemed essential, and it gave the cleaning industry like a lot of more respect, we are valuable. Like I say all the time, and like I'll keep saying, we save lives. So we're valuable. So don't play yourself so cheap, and don't get excited when you see $600, $1,000. Break that $1,000 down to how many times you have to go, how much you pay, because you gotta think, the client gotta be happy. Your team, pretend you got a team. Your team got to be happy, and the company has to make some money. It's a mindset change. It's not a hustle. It's a business. It's a business. And everybody has to win. In order for you to be successful, you can't undercut yourself. You already starting off wrong, because now you're stuck in a job instead of your business. Now, when I first started, I was creating myself a job, because I had been working in fast food, general manager for fast food for over 20 years. Then when I had the brain aneurysm, I couldn't do that fast food no more. The stress level was too much. It would have killed me. So I opted to be a care manager of a recovery program. And I had 40 hours a week. I had medical expense. I had travel expense. Listen, overnight, I lost all my benefits, no travel expense, and they only offered me 20 hours a week. Just purchased a house and a car. Devastating. Now, I had the cleaning business, but I was taking it as a residual income. Like, I had somebody else working it, because what I had did the franchise when I was coming out of the aneurysm. And when I started that business, I felt like, well, let me say this. I put the cart before the horse, because I wasn't able to pay my bills with the franchise. So I had to go back to work. So what I did is what I know now, I subbed out the work. I didn't know I was doing that, but I subbed out the work, and I just was with some extra money, until I went to work the next day and lost everything. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to let that happen to me no more. And then that's in the time period when Steve Harvey used to say, jump. So I jumped, and I have not looked back. I come from prison, drug addiction. Listen, always trying to hustle. But what I know now is this ain't no hustle. I turned that job into a business, a $500,000 a year business. So I just don't want y'all to go through the same stuff that I went through. all the bad decisions and the mistakes that I made because I was in my business too long and I had nobody to guide me in the way that I should go. Got a tons of friends in business and stuff, but they don't know my industry. They can't help me in my industry. And because I'm gonna tell you guys, like when I talked about I underbidded that construction project by $20,000. Listen, right before COVID, I had got awarded my biggest construction project. It was 135,000 square feet. But it was a project like we had never done. It was a storage unit. It was a rough project. We're used to doing commercial office buildings and retail construction. But this one was a storage unit. And it was like dirt rough, really. And then I didn't know I underbidded it until we got in the process because first we was doing good and then COVID hit. And then when COVID hit, I got some people from an agency. And the blessing of that was the people from the agency came in short. They came in short, so it was good because on that project, everybody had to be insured. So while we were on that project, I had got awarded 3 other projects, 2 different companies. So I pulled people out. We went and knocked them projects off, went back to the main one. That was 4 construction projects, right? All 4 of them projects, none of them didn't pay me for 6 months. 6 months. Now, mind you, I got my janitorial over here, but my janitorial don't cover my construction. So, and plus, I had got people from an agency. So the agency, their people got paid weekly. So I'm in my business. I'm thinking I'm hustling. I'm getting all this work and all this stuff. But meanwhile, COVID hit. I don't even realize that my janitorial clients have not paid me yet. Because at that time, I was getting the checks in the mail. I keep checking the mail. Keep going to the office, checking the mail. Ain't no checks. Try to reach the people. Nobody answered the phone. It was like the people just disappeared. Nobody ain't paid their invoices. I done did these 4 construction projects and nobody ain't paid me yet. So I go take one of these predatory loans, and what I mean by that is like 100% interest loan. I get that loan thinking, okay, I get this loan, make my payroll, and then I could go ahead and I could pay the loan back instead of paying all that interest and stuff. People ain't paid me yet. Nobody ain't paid me yet. Got to get another one of them predatory loans. Long story short, I end up taking 6 of them loans. Those people was taking $1,000 a day out of my account. It got so bad they put a UCC lien on my receivables. And they even sent letters to all of my clients. Listen, my clients calling me. Now, mind you, by the time they got to that point, we're on another big construction project, a 235,000 square feet construction project. So we're on there, and mind you, that company was also one of the companies that didn't pay me for 6 months. So when they got the letter telling them that I have a lien on my receivables, because what the letter was saying to my clients was they need to send them my money. So my one client who brought it to my attention, called me and said, Karen, I got this letter. They're telling me I'm not to pay you to send your money to them. I told my client, don't send my money to them. Just hold it till I take care of this. So mind you, the construction project manager come to me. They have a meeting. We all in the meeting because they got this letter that they can't pay me. I got tons of people on the project. So they call me in the office and they say, Karen, look, we got this letter. We don't know what to do because we can't let you stay on the project if you can't pay your people. So I told them, just let me see what's going on. Let me take care of it. And thank God I have a blessed family because they're the ones that gave me the money to lift that lien off of my receivables. So what the construction project ended up doing was they put me on the time and material so that I can get paid in a more reasonable time for us to finish that project. And like moving forward, now they give me a 30-day term because I let them know that they were part of my hardship why I'm in this position in the first place. Because listen, I never got in no hardship because I spent the money. It was always because I made a bad decision because I thought chasing construction was the ticket. Should I get a nice 20,000 real quick, 15,000, 10,000 real quick? But what I didn't know was I needed to have capital to support my payroll while I'm waiting for them checks. So that's why I want to tell people, like, don't be all excited about chasing construction unless you build a relationship and you have a conversation about the pay terms. Or else you're going to find yourself in a big hole because, yes, that money looked good at first. Till by the time you get it, it ain't nothing. So I got all excited about that because that's my story. You know, I almost lost everything. And then the bad thing about it was I was keeping it a secret. I wasn't telling nobody. And the devil was just eating me up inside. And the stress level, I lost some good people carrying that stress and keeping it a secret. Trying to save my face. Because I made some bad decisions. I didn't really understand what I had did. I just didn't understand what I had did. I know we did the work. Why didn't people pay me? So I just want to say, just listen, just get the information. I'll give you the information so you don't do what I did. So at least you have an option. At least you know the consequence if you do this or if you don't do this. I didn't have that. I didn't have nobody tell me, well, you know, if you do this, you need this. And I didn't have none of that. I didn't have any of that. So I'm going to be on here each night. I put myself on a 30-day live challenge so that I can help somebody. So I'll be on here again tomorrow. If you watch this on the replay, excuse me, if you watch this on the replay and you have some questions, I'll check the comments. Put some questions in there so I can talk about them tomorrow. So please comment, like, share, subscribe. So you guys know when I go live. If you subscribe, you'll know each time I go live. And I'm not going to do it like in the morning or mid afternoon and stuff because everybody's busy. So I figured 10 p.m. is a good time that everybody's wind down, can kind of get themselves together or whichever, or at least I'll be on here. So thank you for listening. Need some bidding help? I'm here to help you. Come on and pick my brain. Good night.